You stand before the mirror, and it does not laugh. It does not comfort you with lies. It does not flatter you with illusions. It stares back, silent and unblinking, holding truths you would rather bury. In its cold surface, you see not only your face, but the weight of every wound, every choice, every scar that still whispers your name. And though you want to look away, you cannot. The mirror does not soften reality, it reveals it. It shows you the nights you broke and thought no one noticed, the tears you wiped in silence, the dreams you abandoned because fear felt heavier than hope. It reflects what comfort hides, the parts of you that ache, the truths that sting, the stories you've tried to erase. You remember a time when you thought you could fool the world by smiling, a time when your laughter was louder than your pain, but the mirror was not deceived. It saw the trembling behind your eyes, the cracks forming beneath your skin, and in that honesty there was cruelty, but also a strange kind of grace, because pain is not only destruction, it is revelation. The reflection that hurts is the same reflection that teaches. The mirror that does not laugh is the mirror that does not lie. And though it feels merciless, it is also merciful, because it forces you to see yourself as you are, not as you pretend to be. Look closely. Behind the scars there is strength. Behind the brokenness there is survival. The mirror shows the dark, yes, but in the cracks of that darkness light escapes. You realize that your reflection is not only the sum of your wounds, but the testimony of your endurance. Painful reflections are often the beginning of healing, because to heal, you must first see. To rise, you must first admit that you have fallen. The mirror whispers the words no one dares to tell you. You are wounded, but you are still here. And being here means you are not finished. You are becoming. The truth is that comfort never gave you this gift. Comfort hides your scars, distracts you from your shadows, lulls you into forgetting the weight you carry. But pain brings you to the mirror. It demands that you look, that you face, that you learn. And though you resist, though you want to shatter the glass and silence its truth, a part of you knows. What hurts is what heals. The reflection that stings is the one that sets you free. You are not defined by the cracks you see in the mirror. You are defined by the fact that you dared to stand in front of it, that you chose honesty over illusion, truth over comfort, growth over denial, and in that choice, a new strength begins to rise. The mirror does not speak in words. Its language is silence. Yet within that silence, entire books are written. You see the chapters of your life etched across your reflection, the victories you forgot to celebrate, the betrayals you tried to bury, the wounds that shaped you, even when you pretended they didn't. And here is the paradox. What you see in the mirror is not the end of you, it is the evidence that you have endured. Every wrinkle, every scar, every shadow beneath your eyes is not shame, but scripture. The mirror that doesn't laugh is the mirror that remembers. You may feel tempted to turn away, to cover the glass, to flee from what it reveals. But the more you look, the more you understand. The reflection is not punishment, it is preparation. Pain hurts, yes, but it also instructs. It teaches you courage by forcing you to face the one person you cannot escape, yourself. Think of all the masks you've worn, the smiles, the jokes, the endless distractions. For the world they worked, but the mirror was never fooled. It always saw beneath the disguise. And though you hated that honesty, it was the beginning of your freedom, because you cannot heal what you refuse to see. Painful reflections do not exist to torment you. They exist to wake you, to remind you that pretending is not living and that numbness is not the same as peace. The reflection calls you out of hiding, urging you to accept that your scars are not stains. They are maps. Maps of where you have walked, of what you have survived, of who you are becoming. Every scar is a direction. Every crack is a signpost. The mirror teaches you that what looks like brokenness is actually the architecture of your resilience. And still, there are nights when it feels unbearable, when your own reflection feels like an enemy, reminding you of everything you lost, everything you regret. In those moments, you must remember the mirror is not mocking you. It is inviting you to listen, to learn, to transform. Comfort never asked this of you. Comfort gave you ease, but no depth. The mirror gives you truth, and though it cuts, it also heals. Because once you have faced yourself in your most fragile state, no one else's judgment can undo you. You begin to see what the mirror has been showing all along, that beneath the pain, there is power. Beneath the weakness, there is wisdom. Beneath the silence, there is strength. And in that strength, a new version of you is waiting. So you keep looking, not to dwell on what was lost, but to discover what was born in the breaking. The mirror doesn't laugh because its purpose is not to entertain, it is to awaken. And in its unflinching honesty, you finally find the courage to step into the person you were always meant to be. One day you will stand before the mirror and realize that it no longer frightens you. The scars you once hid will not sting, they will shine. The regrets you once carried like chains will no longer weigh you down, they will guide you. What once hurt will have become what healed you. You will see that the mirror never hated you. It was never cruel for the sake of cruelty. It was only showing you the truth you needed to face. And though that truth was sharp, it was also the doorway to freedom. Because only those who see themselves clearly can ever truly grow. Think of it this way: the mirror is not glass. It is a teacher. It does not laugh because it does not lie. It does not flatter because it does not care for illusions. It reflects only what is real. And reality, though heavy, is also the foundation of resilience. Pain teaches empathy, because once you have looked at your own brokenness, you can recognize it in others. You know the silence behind their smiles, the weight behind their words, the ache behind their laughter. And because you have faced yourself, you can sit with them in their reflection too. So the question is not whether you will face the mirror. The question is, what will you do with what you see? Will you run from it, or will you accept it, learn from it, and rise stronger because of it? Remember, comfort hides you. Pain reveals you. Comfort may soothe your wounds for a moment, but pain transforms them into wisdom. And the mirror, the one that does not laugh, is where this transformation begins. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by your scars. You are defined by your courage to look at them, to acknowledge them, to carry them with dignity. The reflection shows your fragility, yes, but it also shows your strength. And if you listen carefully, the mirror whispers something you may have missed all along. You are enough, not because you are flawless, but because you are still here, still rising, still learning. So I ask you now, when was the last time you looked in the mirror and saw more than just your face? When was the last time you allowed the reflection to speak, even when it hurt? What lesson has your reflection been trying to teach you that you've been too afraid to hear? Share it, because your story, your reflection, may become the truth someone else needs to face their own. Your courage may be the spark that gives them permission to finally stop hiding. Your survival may become their hope. This is where today's reflection closes, but not where your journey ends. Because the mirror does not laugh and it does not lie. It points you forward. And if you wish to continue, follow me into the next chapter. From wounds to wisdom, how pain becomes light. Because your scars, your truths, your reflections are not the end. They are the beginning.